А, в английском тебя еще нет? Тебя еще нет?
Ты что говорил? Ой, правда пищит. Прикол какой-то. А может, у всех пищит? Может, у меня тоже пищит? Послушай меня.
Нет, тебя слышно
всё
хорошо почему-то. Почему-то, блин, только у Кати она только пишет.
Прикол какой-то. Попробуй
вообще
перезагрузиться просто за, ну, как бы, Диана.
Она же вышла.
Кать,
я-
попробуй перезагрузиться TeamSpeak.
А здесь меня
сейчас
слышно?
нормально,
О, супер,
сейчас
отлично,
нормально.
да.
Это
Короче,
закладка, да, хорошо слышно, да.
Слышно
Короче,
хорошо.
давайте я буду юзать просто одну закладку и буду говорить из этой.
Да, скакай.
Там эту закладку потом
Как меня
пересажу.
слышно? Нормально, чистый звук?
Супер отлично, мне кажется.
Да, Лен.
Катюш, ты слышала сообщение Марины?
Да, слышала.
Возьмешь тогда?
Да, возьму.
Я могу быть на подстраховке Паулины тогда, на английский.
Угу,
Давай тогда друг друга тоже страхуем.
Я там второй
возьму.
спич Лизы еще просто не вычитала, но да, возьму.
Она мне сегодня клятвенно обещала, что она будет придерживаться текста. Поэтому мы скрестили пальчики.
Ну, окей.
Я думаю, у тебя еще время, если не сразу начинают всегда.
Greetings, dear viewers. We welcome everyone to today's live broadcast in order to answer some of the most popular questions that you, our viewers, asked after watching the historic international online forum, Global Crisis, Our Survival as in Unity, that took place on November 12th, 2022 on the Creative Society platform.
Подъем магмы происходит по всему миру.
И этот процесс только усиливается.
Из-за смещения ядра происходит ускорение центробежных сил, и скачки ядра начинают резко выталкивать магму.
Подъем магмы уже вызывает в Исландии рои землетрясений
Это и есть вскипание магмы, кавитационные взрывы.
по 1000 событий в день.
Вдумайтесь, в недрах нашей планеты начали происходить взрывы по своей мощности, эквивалентные взрывам тысячам ядерных бомб.
Подъем магмы провоцирует извержение вулканов. Один из самых известных супервулканов Йеллоустоун подает тревожные признаки сейсмической активности.
Каждые 12 тысяч лет происходил аномальный рост вулканической активности.
Циклические катаклизмы происходят именно каждые 12 тысяч лет.
Исследователи считают, что эта цикличность имеет галактическую природу.
Мы вычислили этапы, когда будет пик и чем это закончится.
Те климатические катастрофы, которые последуют далее, будут в разы жестче и губительнее. Планета их не переживет.
Мы входим в более опасный цикл катаклизмов 24 тысячи лет. При этом экология планеты убита, и иммунитет планеты ослаблен.
На самом деле, настоящая беда впереди.
Сколько осталось времени до того, как случится катастрофа нашего цикла?
Now, for those who have not yet watched the forum, you can find it on the Creative Society website with translation into 150 languages. And today, the speakers of the forum got together again to answer frequently asked questions that we found in comments and in your letters. Today, we will answer questions about climate, politics, technologies, healthcare, and mass media. And now we would like to thank you for your well thought out responses. And now let's begin. Elizaveta, one of the questions from people is, how do you know that we have little time left?
Добрый день, уважаемые зрители.
Hello, dear friends, dear viewers. Yes, we really have very little time left. I know you don't want to believe in it, but it's true. At the forum Global Crisis, Our Survival is in Unity on November 12th this year, there was a presentation of the climate report, which was based on the data from the research of a large team of scientists from 1996 until now. The report included not only climate change data, but also data from many other disciplines: geology, volcanology, seismology, magmatism and paleomagmatism, sedimentology, cryolithic zone studies, earth physics, atmospheric physics, and dozens of other fields. No one else in the world has carried out a more comprehensive and extensive study that takes into account all the factors of contemporary changes, anomalies, and threats in all the layers of the Earth. The result of this interdisciplinary work in the world is a mathematical model of the development of events. The calculations of the mathematical model have shown that our humanity has 6 to 7 relatively calm years left, and that in less than 14 years, our planet could turn into a lifeless planet just like Mars. A planet that will no longer have the atmosphere we're used to, no magnetic fields, no oceans or vegetation, and no us, 8 billion of living humans. We would very much like the presented model to be wrong, but unfortunately, every day it is confirmed by every new record, anomaly, or scientific study that it is true. Here are just a few of them. At the forum on November 12th, it was said that a catastrophic magma eruption, which will cause a fatal hydraulic impact on our planet, will take place in the Mariana Trench. 2 days after the forum, on November 14th, the U.S. Geological Survey reported that the underwater volcano Ahu, part of a volcanic arc in the northern Mariana Islands, had begun erupting in mid-October. This suggests that magma is already ascending. If you think there's nothing wrong with the underwater volcano erupting, you're seriously mistaken, guys. If cold ocean water combined with hot, red-hot magma at the bottom of the Mariana Trench suddenly breaks up into oxygen and hydrogen, it will create a huge explosion that will produce a massive shockwave. Why will there be an explosion of magma at the bottom of the Mariana Trench despite 11 kilometers of water column, which is a huge pressure? After all, it is believed that at such a depth, the water cannot boil because of the high pressure. We have received many such questions, and now we will explain it again. The fact is that during this process, there will be no boiling as vapor formation, but rather the decomposition of water into hydrogen and oxygen. This is a reaction that takes place at very high temperatures. The magma that is ascending from the depths is much hotter and has a different chemical composition than the magma that normally pours out during underwater eruptions. That is why a burst of such red-hot magma, pressurized by a column of water, will cause an explosion thousands of times more powerful than the explosion of the entire nuclear weapon stockpile on Earth. And that explosion will rip through the atmosphere. In confirmation of this, we would like to cite another article which was published 9 days after the forum. You have all heard about the Hunga-Hapai volcanic eruption that took place in January this year. Only now have researchers started to fact that this was the strongest eruption ever recorded in the lifetime of our civilization. Just think about it, the strongest ever observed eruption. Why is this so? Because the eruption reached a record height and it was the first breakthrough into the mesosphere that scientists had ever seen. The mesosphere begins at an altitude of 50 kilometers and the volcano emitted gases and ash 57 kilometers high at its highest point. And this despite the fact that it was just an eruption of an underwater volcano. Why did this happen? First of all, the researchers noted that lava of a similar composition had not previously came out in the previous eruptions of Tonga in 2009 and 2014. In previous eruptions, magma was trapped in an intermediate magma chamber, but this time fresh magma ascended quickly, wasting no time in making chemical changes. The new magma had a large number of bubbles and was much hotter and reactive. Secondly, there was a layer of water over the volcano. According to Professor Kulakov, who studies geodynamics and mental processes, water is the most explosive substance on Earth, because often when water comes into sharp contact with lava during eruptions, there occur explosions that are far more powerful than if a volcanic eruption occurred without water. Even ordinary rain increases the explosiveness of an eruption. Thus, for example, rains caused the eruption of Kilauea volcano in 2018. And now just imagine what will happen if millions of cubic meters of red-hot magma meet millions of cubic meters of water in the Mariana Trench. If even an usual eruption is able to rip through the mesosphere now, then it is not difficult to imagine an atmospheric rupture as a result of such an explosion. Every day, there will be more and more news confirming this model. The resources of the Creative Society volunteers will not be enough to process all of them. Therefore, we would be very happy to invite everyone to join us in our research. Very soon, there will be a new platform for everyone to get involved in the continuation of this interdisciplinary research. If you come across news or a scientific article that supports the model presented in the forum, you can send it to this platform, comment on it, and share it with everyone. This will be the research of all humanity.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Elizabeth. And now we will move on to the next question. Olga, maybe you can go next.
Yes, definitely. And what we heard now is sensational. A total blockbuster, hydraulic blow up. You know, movies are movies, but this is a carefully calculated mathematical model that affects us all in real time. This is the blockbuster we live in right now. No need for movie tickets or popcorn. It's happening now. You should see what it is for yourself. Tali, how did people who watched the forum respond?
Yeah, thank you, Olga. We are basically seeing how much interest this information gained online. And across all social media networks, people were sharing their opinions, making videos on TikTok and YouTube videos about this information, about the forum. Some videos went really viral and gained millions of views, and you can find thousands and tens of thousands of comments under them, and people do understand that this is a vital information for survival, and this is life-saving information. That's why they're sharing it. And same as on Twitter, where not only on our official channels of the Creative Society accounts and Global Crisis accounts, where you can find the most recent information, but also on multiple shares of the forum video, you can find the request from the people to have open discussion about the topics that were brought up at the forum. People sharing link, people sharing hashtag, our survival is in unity, and it went viral. It has over like 4 million of shares, and this hashtag went so viral that all people were reposting these videos, and people requested to start talking openly about the true causes of climate change, of this crisis. And we will come back to it a little bit later in our stream, to people's response.
Yes, thanks, Tali. We understand that the time is not on our side. Let's review one more question about climate, because this information should have been the hottest topic in all the media, but instead they're silent. So let's figure out how much time we really have. One of the most asked questions we get goes something like this. If they say that climatic catastrophes are increasing and we have little time left due to cyclicity, how is it possible that humans can fight nature?
Ольга, прекрасный вопрос.
Olga, this is an amazing question.
По сути,
Well, in fact, the whole forum was dedicated to finding a way out, and it was even called Our Survival is in Unity. The title itself said that survival is possible and it is in unity of people. But how can we fight against nature? How will uniting people to build a creative society solve the problem of magma ascending and changes in the core? Let's start at the beginning. Now climate change and volcanic eruptions and earthquakes are starting to increase on all the planets in the solar system. Where there are volcanoes, of course, earthquakes are possible. Look at the news of 2022 about Marsquakes and the rise of magma on Mars. You will be shocked by how synchronous this is with the processes on Earth. This suggests that the cores of all the planets, as well as the core of the Earth, are now undergoing dramatic changes. Energy is accumulating in them. They are heating up and moving away from their centers of mass. This is happening even on the gas giant planets. How have scientists came to this conclusion? If you're interested, we'll cover this topic next. So, additional energy is now coming to the cores of all the planets. No other type of energy or impact that we know is producing similar symptoms to what is now happening throughout the solar system. That is, it is not gravitational gravitational, electromagnetic, galactic rays, or dark matter. But this energy is of a physical nature, which means it can be studied. If we still do not know what this energy is, it means that our science has simply not yet reached an understanding of what it is. 200 years ago, we could not have imagined that we would communicate via internet, but now we do. So, we need to study the previously unknown impact and understand how it works and how to counteract it. But we don't have 200 years. We have 5 to 6 years. What does this mean? That there is no time to relax. We must bring together all of humanity's scientific and technological potential, mobilize our efforts, and try to study this impact and figure out how to neutralize it so that such an amount of excess energy would stop coming to the core. The core will stop heating up and vibrating intensively. Then the magma will gradually calm down and stop ascending. Of course, it will not happen immediately. There will be an inertia of the process, but the planet will not die, and therefore we will have a chance to survive. So, we need to find a solution as soon as possible. We need the smartest people of the planet, the geniuses, because ordinary scientists might not be able to do it. It would take too much time, and let's be honest, they might not be intelligent enough. Right now, these people do not even see that the climate is changing not because of CO2, so we need the most brilliant people on the planet. But we do not even know them. Why? Because every country has its military-industrial complex, and states find the smartest people and take them to create super-modern weapons, atomic bombs, supersonic missiles, etc. These geniuses sit in closed design bureaus, isolated from each other, because each of them keeps the most important state secrets about creating weapons. But we need to bring them together, because one genius will not be able to solve the complex task we are facing now. We need a team that works in a resonance. After all, what one person cannot do, a team can do, because each member of a team reinforces and complements the others. And now imagine that every country needs to give away genius or geniuses who knows state secrets so that they start working together. Would any country go for it? Or would the intelligence services allow these people to openly collaborate as a team? Will they allow them to share discoveries with each other that are now being used for weapons, but that could have saved all of our lives? Unfortunately, no. In a world ruled by money and power, common sense is absent. No country, even understanding the seriousness of the threat, will go for it, as politicians are afraid to lose their power and money. So, we need to create conditions in which states will not be afraid to give away their geniuses to start working together. What are those conditions? It is a world without wars, ruled by not politicians, but by people themselves. It is necessary that the majority of sane people unite and common sense prevails. After all, if there is a time for military secrets, defending the power and money of politicians, when humanity is on the verge of destruction of the planet, or perhaps we should forget about the strive and go and do everything possible so that everyone survives. So how can we create such a format? We need to unite as humanity and create a format where the human life is the highest value, where everyone is provided with all the benefits and everything necessary. And I hope right now it is clear why it is so important to inform each other and unite to build the creative society.
Thank you, Elizaveta. Thank you so much. Another frequently asked question is, what are our chances when we come together that a solution will be found? And John, maybe I can direct this question to you.
Yeah, thanks, Olga. Thanks for the question. So in general, there are no guarantees. The future is what we create as humanity. But I mean, there's zero chance at the moment in the current format of society. But if we do create a society, I think the chances of finding the solution will be very good. In fact, astronomically better. Why? First, the true cause of climate catastrophe will be evident to everyone. And thus, we as humanity can start tackling the correct problem, not squandering our attention on fictitious CO2 scam or on spend trillions on green energy nonsense. We will put all the efforts in solving the right problem. So that's first thing. Second, the genius scientists hidden from the public can be released in the creative society. And more importantly, they will be able to work openly and collaborate and to develop solutions. This being able to work together is very important because I think we all understand that a unit or a team can achieve much more than the sum of individuals, and uniting our scientific potential would give us the best chance to survive. So that's the second thing. Third, the resources. They all belong to humanity, and thus our scientists can be provided with enough support and resources to succeed and solve this problem. Fourth thing, as Lisa has mentioned, these scientists will not be starting from scratch. Although right now, unfortunately, we're not doing the research for the purposes of solving the climate problems, but for perhaps military applications. These energy, which is impacting the climate, these scientists are already studying them. So we're not starting from the scratch. And the fifth thing, and finally, there is a huge incentive, meaning each of these scientists would fully understand what is at stake. This is not only their lives or their families and friends, but in fact, this concerns the lives of entire humanity. If they fail, we will all fail and die miserably. If they succeed, we will all survive and build a wonderful society. I think that's a big enough motivation, isn't it? So to summarize, we will have the best people working on the real problem with enough resources who have experience and incentives in creative society. So that is why I think that we have a much better chance of finding a solution when we come together as a society.
Thanks, John. The answer to the next question has already been provided, but we would like to emphasize it again since we encounter this question quite frequently. And John, please, maybe you can answer this one as well. The question is, how can scientists sit at one table?
It would definitely not be possible in the current format of society, as Lisa mentioned. It would require that in the society, there will be no more wars, no group of people or states seeking power over the others. Again, impossible because it would not be profitable to give up or publicize the genius scientists on whom the states rely on for their dominance. Only by changing the format of society in which human life is of highest value, in which the truth can prevail, these hidden scientists who actually have a real potential to solve the climate problems can be released to the public and will be able to sit at the same table and confront the climate problem. I want to make one other side comment while we're on this topic of scientists. Now, of course, there are currently many scientists who are not in closed bureaus, who work publicly, who are honest, who understand the true causes of the climate change. But when they try to bring the truth out so that people would really understand the true causes of climate change, not the CO2 scam, and understand the gravity of the situation so that we start to act, their mouths are shut. Their work cannot be published. Often their careers, sometimes even their lives are threatened in today's society. And this is true. If you doubt it, consider what happened to me or Professor Vitorino, for example. We both spoke at the forum about our personal experiences.
Thank you, John. Events such as this are just events, and it's up to the people to decide what to do with this information. It depends on how active every person becomes and spreads this information to others. Our ability to make a creative society a reality depends on us, the ordinary people. If you are watching us today and did not watch a forum yet, please do so. It's called Global Crisis, Our Survival is in Unity. and can be found online in 150 languages because this information needs to reach every person. This forum was grandiose in scale and information presented. You need to know that information. It's truly a turning point in our history. Watch it today, share it with your friends, and spread it with your actions.
Yes, thank you, Olga. Definitely. And we already see this reaction from the people, and reaction has been amazing, outstanding. Social media were filled up with the feedback videos about the forum. So people do understand how important it is to share this vital information. And seeing how many sane, understanding, intelligent people there are around the world is truly heartwarming. And these videos, they are not just being posted there, they are going viral, they are gaining millions of views. Yeah, so it is crucial for us right now just to keep this momentum going and keep up with sharing good content. So let's take a look at some of those videos recorded and posted by the people with their impressions.
I highly recommend you go watch a video on YT entitled Our Survival is in Unity. But if this isn't the most freaking important thing that you're going to watch for the next 6 years of your life, I don't know what is more important. I really don't.
Time left for humankind, 13 years. 13 years, 10 months, 9 days, 1 hour, 30 minutes, 2 seconds. Before we're like done. Why isn't anyone talking about this? Like, what? We literally have 13 years left to live.
This is not about climate change or that bullshit global warming they're talking about. This is the bounce of the solar system. This is something that happens every 12,000 years.
These scientists got together from all over the world and predicted by 2036 this world will not be livable anymore.
The Creative Society has a solution, getting an free energy device to power everything around the world. Not just select places, not just select countries, everywhere around the world.
I think everyone should watch this video, literally everyone of all race, nationality, religion, no matter. You are a person, you need to watch this video.
Global crisis, our survival is in unity has set me off recently.
It's about the Creative Society, and I just believe it's so important to get this word out, and I'm willing to do anything, even embarrassing myself on a TikTok video, whatever. Like, I just want to get the word out to as many people as I can, because like this video says, our survival is in unity, and I just feel like we're so divided and we need to all come together.
Yellowstone is showing alarming signs.
Go watch this video. These are scientists.
With gas or gasoline.
Watch this video. Come together to conduct their own independent research.
They know for a fact that we're not going to make it past 2036.
But look at this.
And we only have about 5 years to fix that.
It's a bunch of doctors and scientists.
Terrestrial volcanoes.
Now our building, our house is on fire.
You cannot feed ignorance with more ignorance. This is about opening your eyes, doing independent research, and looking around the world for your fucking self.
We all see what's going on the planet. We see these earthquakes. You just seen the volcano go off for the first time in 40 years.
We need to grow up and be mature about it, and we all need to come together and fix the situation that is upon us.
So if you want to live in a creative society, like I definitely do,
Learn about it. Educate ourselves about it.
I do want to do my part because I feel that I am responsible for also spreading the word. So whatever platform I have, I'm going to use it.
Get your computer and check out creativesociety.com for more information.
Guys, you see that? You see how great people are? They are not silent. And please do not be silent. Do not stop until everyone is informed. This is exactly what has to be done. Making TikToks, short clips, posting them on social media to inform every single person. And we are going to make it happen. Friends, right now, also one of the questions that is being quite often we see it over there. Why was it specifically the model of progression selected for those mathematical models over there? And I think Elizaveta Khromova will be the right person to answer this one. Lisa?
Да, верно.
Yes, true. The model of exponential progression was chosen when the events are accelerating more and more with each stage. This is because during the previous cycle, the events were accelerated so sharply that it was interpreted as a meteorite fall, but it was not a meteorite fall because meteorite cannot be spread all around the planet. But the trail of the cataclysms of the previous cycle, fires, huge eruptions, earthquakes, is everywhere. Just check out the information about the Usella horizon, the Clovis sediments. You will see that this horizon is everywhere in the sediments, and this is the marker which is present all over the planet. This is not a meteorite fall. It was such an abrupt, such a sharp and fast event that it almost took very much faster, not even a couple of decades. And for this mathematical model, we took not a linear model, but we took a different one. And already in 14 years, there will be no life on the planet. That is why we took the exponential model. And I would like to explain precisely what this model is, how fast it is progressing. And this is just like the geometric progression, right? So do you remember the task about the geometric progression? There is an area in the lake that is overgrown with water lilies. Every day the area doubles in size. It is known that the lilies will cover the whole surface of the lake in 48 days. In how many days will the lilies cover exactly half the surface of the lake? You can write down your answers in the comments, and if you answer the riddle correctly, you will understand how abruptly the release of magma in the Mariana Trench can occur, and the subsequent hydraulic impact can occur as well. Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you, Lisa. And I'm sure many know this progression, and many people know what's the example with lilies and with the lake. If you fill it up and it doubles, and we can clearly see that it's been doubling every single time. So right now we're on this edge, and some people might ask, oh, is it some new information that nobody knows about? And that is not true. Like, for example, even among policymakers, even among politicians, many people do know about this. And many of you, our dear viewers, you know that right after the forum, Our Survival is in Unity, we were invited speakers to the Washington, D.C. to meet up with policymakers. And the main conclusion that came out of it was that many of them are very much aware about the critical situation with the climate and that CO2 is not to blame. But they cannot speak about this openly, not to raise panic. They also understand that the only solution is to change the format of the society to unify scientific potential of the humanity. And they are ready to stand with us, but they want to hear the request from the people. We also have seen a lot of tweets and TikToks with such a request already. Why media is not responding to the information presented in the forum? After all, this event could not go unnoticed by those in the media. Yet, not a single magazine made a comment. And the answer is simple. Don't you know it yourself? They only promote their sponsors. They are not free people with opinions. They are sold out rhapsods ready to write anything for a price tag. They will sell their own mothers for $1 and their own houses, which are already on fire. We've seen their smearing articles made by BBC earlier this year, and now they simply have nothing to say because the information presented at the forum was too factual, too logical, too well-structured, and it makes much more sense than their CO2 narrative. So they are silenced for now, but it doesn't matter. What matters is for us, for regular people, not to be silent. Much more important that we, the 99%, each one of us, has this multi-million reach. Through a single tweet or a TikTok video, we can reach out to millions of people. So let's not wait for somebody else to do this job, right? Let's do it ourselves. Let's make the world hear about this forum. And now I would like to suggest all of us to hear such an example of powerful impact that the word can make on this world. It's shaped in a beautiful poetry by Roy Starr-Soundsek. And some people, many people in the comments said that it was the most beautiful poem they ever heard in their lives. And what makes it so beautiful is that the life-saving message is behind every word in this poetry. Let's enjoy.
For thousands of years, we've changed borders, slogans, and officials, but we've never managed to wipe the slate clean. The same rallying cries, posters, and news lines explain to us what it is we should die for today. For faith, for a name, for someone's idea, for glory, for freedom, for power, for a patch of land. It'll all be forgotten. For time will erase all names and fame, all triumphs and goals, leaving nothing but graves. For thousands of years, we, the entire mankind, with our blood and our mind, with our strength, our breath, and the time of our lives, we pay the maniacs stung by power for the fruits of their ambitious desires, for their rabid, ravenous greed. We pay with our hearts, with our mothers, with our daughters. Absently, we lead our sons for the slaughter, all for the sake of some tyrant to say, "It is I who have conquered this land." In the media, we read excuses for the murders. Hang in there, feebly they say to us. But let me ask you, my friend, honestly, voice the truth. How much is your life worth to you? Tell me, is a handful of land worth a child's life? Worth our blood and strife? Worth the grief and pain in the human heart? You see, this blind strife happens not in the wilds, but in the field of yourself, in the field of your views and ideas, your judgments. Haven't you noticed that? They move us from here to there like pawns, while we keep standing without a squeak, humbly waiting for someone to speak, someone who can no longer bear it. So he'll start speaking and shouting about what we all can't be silent about. What's inside us like a storm willing to burst out. There's no right and left in this world. There's no me and you. It's just people on this earth. We all want to live and we don't want to die. We are called to live, not to kill. So why do we need such a world where life is not valued? A world where we'll be finished by the climate or by our own sense of pride misalignment. After all, better is the world where life is valued, where life is favorable for all, and where the goal is the same. The clear format of creative society is to the benefit of all, undeniably. For this motto is a sunrise of humanity. But that's when the human in us will flourish. We will discover ourselves, and our talents to create will be encouraged. The key to change our life are in the 8 foundations. which are to be embedded into the constitutions of nations, so that there's welfare, vastness of creation. The whole world must be turned into a beautiful garden for us to live in an abundant oasis. It's easy to change the format of our world. We just need to start spreading the word. And that's why we have to proclaim with high speed that the creative society is what we all need. That's why I tell you, do speak, because the word that arises from within will have the oppression of silent skin. Today, our survival is only in unity. It's the only way and solution for humanity. So I ask you now, tell everyone you meet, for humanity's evolution, the creative society is what we need. The creative society, we need to make it a reality.
You know, I think that poem is so powerful because there's a lot of truth to it. It's a truthful forum that explains the world today. And also, I would like to add that, dear viewers, your simple actions that will not take much of your attention, much of your time, will change the world. So what can you do? You can share the information, the link to the forum, Global Crisis, Our Survival is in Unity, and to today's broadcast with your relatives, your friends, your co-workers, your neighbors, and so on. You know, every person deserves to know about what is to come, and most importantly, about the solution. The creative society is the world of your dreams, in which everyone will receive unimaginable benefits. And there are people looking for the solution today, people who are already losing hope, but you can be that shining star by informing them about the creative society. Let's talk about the technologies in the creative society. And Alexei, this next question is from our viewers that they've been asking fairly quickly, is for you. When will the new technologies be available to the public?
Well, Olga, thank you very much. And this is a very good question that really seems to have a simple answer, but has many aspects to it. So let's examine a few of those. Well, those who researched this topic surely know that many of the technologies that could completely change our lives for the better are not only restrained in development, but were purposefully destroyed. And their inventors prosecuted, many just disappearing in strange circumstances. And let's, for example, take an example of the AI that could drastically reduce the amount of human labor. Well, we see, everyone knows about ChatGPT right now, that's taking the world by storm. And people are using it in so many creative ways, and that would be beautiful and creative society. But what will the outcome be in our current consumers format? Hundreds of thousands of people losing their jobs already and left without means to existence. Or let's take a look at our lives in terms of energy. Well, basically, we are spending our whole life working to meet our energy requirements, getting enough food, the energy of our body, getting enough electricity or gas to heat and power our homes and cook food, getting fuel for our cars or paying for public transportation to get to places. Well, everything revolves around energy and electricity in particular. So there are already numerous examples of FFGs, the fuel-free generators that you've probably seen online, and many dating several decades back, and like the work of John Searle. You can look this up. And we have a great video about the FFGs on our YouTube channel. Well, in short, these machines generate more power than they consume, meaning that they can continuously provide abundant and free energy. They can be installed in every house, on vehicles, wherever needed. And imagine if in today's world we would introduce free energy. Well, how many people involved in extraction, refining, transportation, selling, etc., of fossil fuels and electricity would lose their jobs without any possibility to find work elsewhere? Well, this is why we need to change the format of society to a creative one where human life is the highest value, where all the needs of every person are met, where we will have unconditional basic income, stable economy, and everyone will have the possibility to work if they so desire. But only then we will be able to introduce all the technologies that exist already today but are being withheld from us, as well as new groundbreaking discoveries that we will be able to make once we all choose the creative society.
Yes, thanks, Alexei. The tech info is mind-blowing. I'm excited about new technologies that will improve our lives. Also, another question we got from viewers that watched the forum that took place on Creative Society platform, Global Crisis, Our Survival is in Unity, is how long will it take for hospitals to transform? Will all the sick be treated immediately? Olga, can you help us answer that question?
Thanks so much. Absolutely. You know, this question is close to me. So let's look at it this way. Since human life is the most important in the creative society, healthcare will be one of the first issues that will be addressed. But it is hard to say how long it will take because to transform hospitals, because specialists in healthcare field and experts are the ones who will start the action. As we mentioned in the forum, already in the transition period into the creative society, hospitals will be equipped with everything needed to treat patients. As soon as we start the process, all new technologies will be implemented and available to each person without exception and free of charge. Imagine that. Such technologies already exist today, and they can cure very serious diseases and illnesses. And again, at the forum, Global Crisis, Our Survival is in Unity, we listed only a few technologies that are available already today, but they have not, and actually those technologies have been proven effective in treating diseases that are said to be untreatable today. Can you imagine? And therefore, most of the critical illnesses can already be cured today and will be cured during the transition period into the creative society. And it is important to know that once we transition into the creative society, we will have technologies which will allow us to correct and treat our bodies from the comfort of our homes. So, for example, a capsule or a system that will be installed in our shower can scan and fix any problems. So diseases, disabilities, illnesses, and various disorders will all disappear. And now the second question is, what about the sick? Will they be treated immediately? So there will be immediate treatment for the sick with technologies that are already developed but have not yet been implemented. It will happen once we begin transitioning to the creative society. In addition, in the creative society, people will not only be healthy, but also will live much, much longer in good health. You know, dear viewers, today it's heartbreaking to see so many people suffer in our consumer society, especially when you know that there are technologies that exist but aren't used. So guys, you know, please join us. Do your research on how creative society will benefit you. I'm positive that you will find more than you anticipate. And also watch the forum, Global Crisis, Our Survival is in Unity. It contains information that will save your life.
Thank you, Olga. Yes, healthcare is definitely one of those things that is pretty much desired by everyone. And in creative society, this benefit of living will be available for everyone. Imagine highest quality healthcare, free of charge for every single person on our planet. Isn't that amazing? And many people do understand how amazing it is and that it doesn't cost much just to spread the word. But still, many people ask, what exactly can I do to participate? And how exactly can I contribute to the creation of this world in which not only healthcare, but many other benefits will be available to everyone? So who would like to answer this question? What can I do to participate?
No puedo hablar, no. Ahí sí, que no tenía ninguna.
Right.
A mí me gustaría
Oh, we
responder
can hear you, Paulina. Please go ahead.
me gustaría responder esta pregunta. Tenemos muchos de
Right. Greetings. Of course, I would like to answer these questions as really we have a lot of comments like this, messages, emails with just a simple phrase and question, how can I help? How can I participate? And so that you and others can join us and together we would be more effectively spreading the information about the creative society, and all 8 billion people would find out about the creative society. So how can be this achieved? Where to start from?
So tell your friends, family, neighbors, co-workers, basically everyone you know about the creative society. Share this information about the creative society on your social networks. You can write comments under the videos. You can write or record video blogs. You can post your posts and share them on social media, social networks, place banners on your websites and personal accounts, and make your social networks explode with information about the creative society. And each user of the network will spread the news to the whole world. Also, you can wear clothing with the logo of the creative society, such as baseball cap or a t-shirt. You can hand out cards with information from the website of the Creative Society, place a flag in your garden, a logo on the stickers on your car, and decorate your bike with the logo. So share the information about the Creative Society in coffee shops, doctors' offices, at the local grocery stores, the hairdressers, and everywhere, you know, on the planes. And if you don't know where to get the design for all of this, it's all done for you. It already exists in the Creative Society website, and you can just go to creativesociety.com, pick the design section, and choose the one that you like the most. So let's do everything possible so that we can build the Creative Society as soon as possible. You know, write poems, songs, make short videos, memes, or even jokes about the Creative Society. For example, you can print a phrase on the toilet paper: if you don't support Creative Society, don't touch me, right? If you are a business owner, you can put the Creative Society banner on your website or add the logo to your products. Show that you care about all people. And one of the fastest methods of sharing the information about the Creative Society is through mass media. Participate in talk shows, podcasts, news, or any other program about the Creative Society and its benefits. You can also place announcements about the Creative Society in newspapers, articles, magazines, billboards. You know, place Creative Society content on both local and global television. The logo of the Creative Society project should be everywhere, all over the world. It should be recognizable in all the corners of the world.
Yes, friends. And let's not forget about doing live streams and duets on TikTok, because that's exactly what people started doing, and that gives so much reach out to the people around the world, because they see that people communicate in live to you and people make duets. So you come across the video about the Creative Society, about the Global Crisis Forum, you like the video, post your reaction, just retweet it, repost it, and let the world know about how many amazing people are there. Because what's amazing about social media, they allow us to connect and to see these people, and these are the best people that are out there, because they are not acting out of their personal gains or interest. They doing this for you, for themselves, of course, to live in a creative society, but for everyone, for all the people on our planet. And with these tools, we can really reach out to millions of people and build creative society in the shortest terms possible.
Thanks so much. Absolutely. You know, information about the Creative Society can be communicated in a variety of creative ways. And we've learned that. And now let us watch and listen to a song that premiered at the forum, a song that's called Unity.
There is a different way for everyone, leading us to the same goal. There is a voice without sound that can hear every single living soul.
What a beautiful song. It motivates and inspires me to act daily towards a creative society. I love listening to this song with my kids when we are driving. And now we come to my favorite question, and actually it's my husband's favorite question too. So here we go. Dear Mr. Schwab and dear Mr. Soros, people are demanding that you would sponsor us. Now, we don't mind. When will you do it? But in all seriousness, we always get this type of questions, like all the time.
Let me answer these questions. In today's world, we're used to the fact that if something happens, someone always finances it, and someone stands behind it, defending their own shady interests. But now, for the first time, it's all of humanity that's behind the creative society model. We represent the interests of all people, and we protect your interest. You know, there's a phrase, you will know them by their deeds. Here, it's worth saying how the project was formed, its goals and objectives. In 1996, our scientists discovered that the climate is a serious problem. With the help of volunteers and specialists from different fields of science, we started to study this phenomenon. It was established that the climate change is a 12,000-year cyclical process. We understood that it is a very destructive cycle and the days of humanity are numbered. We started developing a new model of society where it will be possible not only to unite intellectual minds, but also all people. We studied the world's historical experiences to account for all of humanity's mistakes. The main thing we understood is that the new model of society should meet the needs of all people. Throughout the past 10 years, we, together with tens of thousands of volunteers and hundreds of experts from all over the world, have conducted extensive analytical work and numerous social surveys worldwide in every single country. We conducted interviews, constellations, and held international roundtables and conferences with experts in various fields. By studying and analyzing the needs of people around the world, we've been able to create a working model that transforms every aspect of society. And most importantly, it ensures that scientists can come together to solve the climate problem as quickly as possible. We have called this model the Creative Society. It's not the name, but the essence of this model, which will help us cope with the climate disasters. But I challenge you not to be lazy. Take a closer look. Watch the conferences, go to the websites, and check out all the information presented for yourself and compare it. Compare what we're talking about to what they want and reach your own conclusion. I mean, it looks unbelievable that we can put together a global online conference simultaneously translated into over 150 languages, streaming on every social media platform without the support of any mainstream media outlet. There hasn't been anything done on this scale of what we're doing, and it's hard to believe it's done by volunteers. But I challenge you, become a participant and see for yourself. Then you'll understand how Creative Society projects are funded and how it all comes to life. Our goal is not global domination or putting a microchip in people or any of that silliness. As for the claims that we're financed by some specific group or financial interest, I would say that if they want to finance a Creative Society project, they're welcome as any other person. But you have to understand that the Creative Society project will be financed by those who stand for the interest of humanity. I want to live under better conditions. I want my kids to live under better conditions. We're all a group of rational people that can see the problems we're facing and understand the seriousness of the situation we're all facing as humanity, and we speak out about it. You'll feel compelled
Thank you, Wilkins. Yes, and creative society is the best solution, really, to solve all the issues we are facing so far. But again, go look for yourself, and I hope that Wilkins was able to answer that question for you. And another question we get is, what will happen if they try to alter the 8 pillars of a creative society after they get voted into the office? And we are talking about politicians, right? And this is a valid question. And I want to remind our viewers that we are not fixing anything in a consumer society. We are building a fresh start, a creative society. Politicians will simply represent people's will, not make decisions. When we have an electoral platform, corruption will be impossible. Everything will be publicly available. We will have full transparency and openness of information in the transition period. So no politician can modify, change, or do anything behind our backs, as power truly belongs to the people. Politicians in a creative society are not above anyone. They are ordinary people, and they will get $10,000 a month in unconditional basic income, just like you and me. They do not have power over us. They take responsibility. People make decisions, not politicians. If a politician goes against the people, we will recall him or her, since he or her forgot his responsibility to us. All corruption is submitted for public review and discussion, and since all the media belongs to us, the people, everyone, everywhere, will know that a politician is playing us wrong and dirty. This makes a person accountable and sets an example for other politicians or executives to act for the common good. And yes, we will figure out a good form of punishment for someone who is intentionally rolling us backwards. We will decide that punishment is, but it has to be grand, so no one would ever think of doing any crimes against humanity. We are building a creative society for ourselves, not for anyone else. We are no longer slaves to the system. Since we now have a goal as a civilization to build a creative society, everything that slows us down or prevents us from moving forward will be seen as an eyesore. Can you imagine how happy politicians will be? They can finally take responsibility and see positive changes in society, and they can be real heroes, not villains like now. So I have a final question for you. What are you waiting for? Get up and take your life and the lives of your loved ones into your own hands. Time is running out, and we are yet to inform every single person on our planet, in our homes. Keep asking questions, keep researching, and keep understanding. A creative society is the only way out. It is fair, just, and evolutionary. Watch the forum. Click join us on the Creative Society site. Stand alongside us and volunteer to spread information. The mass media will not talk about this crucial life-saving information, as they are not on our side, the side of humanity. They are on the side of profits. But we, the people, will not remain silent. With your help, we will inform everyone about the true causes of why we need a creative society format. This way, everyone has a choice and a last chance not to just survive, but thrive beyond our wildest dreams. Are you with us?
Yes. Thank you so much, Olga. And just to finish it all up, I wanted to add something else to what Wilkins just said, because it was really, really amazing that if people think that, well, this is agenda of Schwab, World Economic Forum, United Nations, and so on, it's only because you don't know the information that creative society, what we stand for. Because if you really know, if you know the challenges we're seeing as humanity right now, if you know the truthful information, you're just compelled to act. You cannot just stand there knowing what's going to happen to the society. And the Creative Society project is exactly the movement of the people. It's the complete opposite of the elites. It's the self-governing society in which all power belongs to all people. So all normal, all reasonable people want to live in this world, and we are all, for the sake of our children, of our own lives, we just have to hop on this. We just have to start contributing to the solution. And again, let's look at the world itself. Those people, those elites, we're talking about Schwab, World Economic Forum, United Nations, they own the science. They are very motivated people. Like they are, even it's the end of our climatic cycle and we don't have that much time left. They are very motivated to rule the world, to gain the power and to do everything possible to be the elites, right? But we the people, why are we not motivated? We are very well motivated to build a society of equality where all power belongs to all people. And just ask yourself, what kind of society do I want to live in? Because really we have three choices. Leave things as they are, and they're not going to last for so long. We can let the elites do their world order, new world order, and one world government. That's another option. They're very well motivated to do that. And then there is third option. There is creative society, unification of all people in this world. And all of us, all together, we make this society in which all power belongs to all people and all of us provided with all the benefits and humane way to live. And everyone can live finally as people deserve to live, without being workhorses, without necessity to work for the shelter and simply to provide food, without this world in which more than 40 million people are literally enslaved. This is, and so much more enslaved simply because the conditions are of the consumerist format put profit over human life. So guys, to everyone who still has that question, hopefully we could answer this one. And if you still don't understand, please write in the comments below what else would you like to hear. Please let us know with your feedback what else questions you have left. And hopefully we answered some of them today, and it's been such a huge pleasure just to see all of the speakers today, all of our technical team. This stream is being translated to so many languages, and so many people behind the scenes we don't even know, but they contributing and making this possible. So please share your gratitude, share your positive feedback, and whatever feedback you have online. Thank you so much for being with us today, and see you soon.